Hi, beautiful souls. Paris 2 here. If you've ever been told that you're too sensitive, that you need to have a thicker skin, or that you take things too personally, or if you've ever felt that you get overwhelmed easily, that you feel deeply, that you get emotional easily, and you wondered why, you might be a highly sensitive person. Now, what does that really mean? It's a medical condition. It's not a weakness. It's not a mental condition. It is not a disorder of any sort. It's simply a personality trait that 20% to 30% of the global population have, including the animal species. And what that means is that you just have a finely tuned nervous system. You process things more deeply than non-highly sensitive people do. And there's a lot of beauty in being highly sensitive, although a lot of people think that it's a weakness and they try to change themselves and they try to hide their high sensitivity. But I promise you that if you decide to honor your sensitivity and embrace it, your world would change for the better. You will live in your authenticity and you will let yourself shine. And if you work on yourself to discover what your strengths are, and within your strengths, what are those two or three things that stand out, which could be your superpowers, once you identify those things, you will just become completely a different person. You will transform your life for the better, and you will embrace your sensitivity and fall in love with your sensitivity, and you'll see it as a very unique trait that you have that very few people have. So let's break it down. What does it mean to be highly sensitive? According to Dr. Elaine Aron, the psychologist who coined the term highly sensitive person, and the acronym is HSP. She discovered this in 1991. And to this day, a lot of people are not aware of this personality trait. And when they realize that they are a highly sensitive person and they embrace it, their life completely changes, including myself. That's exactly what happened to me. So, according to Dr. Aaron, there are 4 characteristics of being a highly sensitive person. The first characteristics is depth of processing. That means that you process things at a very deep level. You look at it from a different angle, from a different perspective. You think about how it was created, how it can get impacted, what the future would look like. You look at it from very, very different perspectives and you analyze it to the nth degree. And this is very, very good because when you come up with a solution, it's a solution that is transformative, it's lasting, and it's not surface level. So that's what makes you a unique thinker, in that you come up with solutions, for example, that are really long lasting, and they're really have taken so many different things into perspective that they're very well thought through, so that your solution is going to be a very, very solid solution. So with the depth of processing also comes this idea of having a systems thinking, which simply means that you look at things not just from a very big picture, but you also see the small picture. And what that means is that you have the natural ability to perceive and understand how different situations, relationships, or environments are interconnected. And so you're able to come up with a solution that is much more holistic and deep and transformative. And this is important because we live in a world that favors or honors or prioritizes speed over and surface level thinking. But with HSPs, they take their time to analyze everything and to process everything at a very deep level, so that if they come up, for example, if they're solving a solution, their solution is going to be a lot more stable and hardier than a surface level thinker. So That's the depth of processing. The second characteristic is overstimulation. Overstimulation happens because we take in a lot from our environment and we process a lot internally. So, because of that, we tend to get overstimulated easily. And that is something that is easily addressable. So you can, I teach my clients how to do somatic practices to basically bring their nervous system to a balanced level, and which means regulating your nervous system. If you've ever heard of the term regulating your nervous system, that just means to bring your nervous system to a calm state of rest and digest, and instead of being in the flight or fight state. So that's the second aspect, is overstimulation. The third aspect is empathy. As a highly sensitive person, you will have a very high level of empathy. What that means is that you don't just understand somebody's pain, or emotion or their state of being, you actually feel it in your own body. So if somebody has a headache, you can feel their headache in your own body. Or if somebody's feeling sad, you can feel their sadness in your own body. And again, that can lead to overstimulation as well. But if you know how to protect your energy field, then you will be able to separate the other people's emotions from your own. So you'll be able to build a bubble of protection and around your body so that their energy doesn't penetrate your energy. The fourth aspect is having sensitivity to external stimuli. This could be loud sounds, bright lights, coarse textures. Any of your five senses can be sensitive. It could be all five, or it could be just one of them. And then the important thing to remember is that in order for you to be considered highly sensitive, you have to have all four aspects. Because, for example, a lot of people can be empaths, but they may not be highly sensitive. And then there are some myths about sensitivity, that people think it's being fragile. That's definitely not the case. It's like, oh, it's an, all introverts are highly sensitive. Again, that's not the case. Actually, 30% of the highly sensitive people are extroverts. Yes, that means, the majority of HSPs are introverts, but it doesn't mean that all of them are introverts. So as an HSP, you've probably lived most of your life being told that you're too sensitive, that you need to toughen up, that you need to change. I'm here to tell you that that's not true. You are not too sensitive. We need people like you in this world. We need people who are sensitive, who are conscientious, who care about other people, who are empaths, who think deeper, who come up with solutions that are long lasting and not just for the moment. We need people that take the time to process information, digest things, dissect things, and really come up with solid solutions to a problem and think outside of the box, be creative. Highly sensitive people are very, very creative thinkers. They're great at problem solving. They're great at really taking in a lot of data points and going through all that data and coming up with the most important information and being able to use that data to come up with a great decision or informed decision or come up with a great solution to a problem. So there's a lot of beauty in being highly sensitive. I really encourage you, instead of seeing it as a weakness, because you've been told that all your life, you might be at a point where you're hiding it, or you're thinking that it's a weakness, or that you're thinking you need to change, that, oh, everybody else is different than you. You're right, 80% of the population is different than you, but that doesn't mean that you need to change. That just means that you need to embrace your uniqueness and be proud of it. Be happy that you are this amazing person, unique, and have this way of thinking that is so different than other people. Embrace that beauty in you, embrace it and love it. Learn to love it. If you don't love it already, learn to love it and learn to live in your authenticity, because that's where that's where you come alive. That's where your beauty comes alive, your superpowers come to light, and you learn how to use these skills to your advantage instead of hiding them, and there's so much beauty in that. So if this touched your heart, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and share it with someone who you think might find it helpful, whether they're highly sensitive themselves or maybe they have a highly sensitive person in their life. Please share it with them. If you would like to work with me on a one-on-one basis, I invite you to click on the link in the description below and book a complimentary session with me. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video.